game. You can't knock the game, man. It's gonna always be. It goes back to biblical days, man. You know, this game ain't gonna never cease to be here, man. Pimping and whoring is the best thing going. Believe that. You know, it'll never change. It's very profitable. You know, it's profitable, man. There's money in this, man. You know, it's a lifestyle, like I say. Everybody can't do this.
How old are you?
All right, guys, it was from YouTube, and yesterday I was watching a video on YouTube. I believe the author's Soft White Underbelly, and he was doing an interview with one of the... He does a lot of these interviews of pimp prostitutes, Johns, all that kind of nightlife. He interviews all these different type of people, and one of the people that interviewed was this pimp called Lade. And one thing that I heard from that guy that stood out for me is when he said that pimping is biblical. Now, when I heard that, I said, where does it say in the Bible that pimping is biblical? I thought pimping was just a recent thing that started in the 60s. But no, in the Bible, there are several examples of where prophets have pimped out their women in order to receive financial gains. God did not punish them, and they also did not refuse those gifts from the men. In these stories, it was kings. So they pimped out their women to kings, and they received gifts by lying and saying that they were just brothers, because they knew that if they were discovered to be the husbands, that they would have been killed. But in each of the scenarios, when they discovered that they were the husband, they did not get killed. They received gifts. They did not refuse it, and God did not punish them. So, does that mean that pimping would be, acceptable because no punishment came out of it? Is it accepted? Let's go into some of these examples. Genesis 12:10-20. Abraham and Sarah are fleeing from their country of where they're staying because of famine. So they escape to Egypt. And when Abraham and Sarah get to Egypt, Abraham tells Sarah that when we get to Egypt, I gotta lie and say that I'm your brother, because if they knew I was your husband, they surely would try and kill me just so they can get you for themselves. So Sarah agrees, and they get to Egypt, and a lot of the men saw Sarah and said, wow, she's very beautiful. And then when the king finally got news of this lady, Sarah, she said, bring Sarah to me. And Sarah said, yes, and I also have my brother who's coming along with me. So, the custom is to take care of the family. So Abraham is well taken care of. He's giving gifts. He's being fed. He's staying in the palace and everything. And then God intervenes with sending out plagues, which probably could be STDs. That you sent me this lady, and now I've been stricken with all these different plagues. STDs. So he sends Sarah away, and eventually, I guess, through probing and questioning, they find out that Abraham and Sarah are actually related. Now, maybe adultery was illegal in their religion, but it was illegal with the children of Israel to commit adultery. Maybe it wasn't illegal for the people of Egypt, but they still didn't feel good about it, so they sent Abraham and Sarah on their way with livestock, food, gold, silver, slaves. This is one reason why Abraham became very rich and owned so many land, was going through Egypt and being rewarded for being a pimp. No, the king could have just said, off with his head, Abraham, for deceiving me, or not give any gifts to Abraham. But I think this was a transaction going on here, that the king got Sarah for some time, and when it just got too bad with all the plagues, and finally he just had to give Sarah back. But he gave them with all these different things, settlements, so they can go their way. without any ill faith, probably to please God, to say that he has done something wrong. But how come Abraham was not punished for this? And in this case, he was actually rewarded. Another situation, when you go to Genesis 20:1-16, Abraham again pimps Sarah out to Abimelech, another king. And once again, God intervenes. And it's discovered that, they're both husband and wife. And of course, plagues were sent in again to pretty much scare the king away from Sarah. Once again, Abimelech gives Abraham gifts, livestock, money, slaves. He could have easily have said off with Abraham's head or don't give them anything and chase them out of the city. But then once again, like a pimp, he's getting the money, he's getting the livestock, he's getting slaves, he's getting food. So it almost seems like pimping is biblical and accepted in the Bible. And now Isaac, Abraham's son, goes to the same king, Abimelech, and pimps Rebecca off to Abimelech. Man, Abimelech must be some kind of playboy. He was trying to get his hands on every pretty woman. So he pimps out Rebecca to Abimelech. Same thing happens, they get plagued, and, they got to send Rebecca and Isaac on their way. But Isaac wasn't punished for being a pimp. It was only the king Abimelech that was, afflicted with these plagues, probably STDs. Again, so he sends them away and gives Isaac a whole bunch of livestock, food, and get him rewarded. So a lot of these examples, usually in the Bible, when you do something wrong, God intervenes and you get stricken down with plagues and anything like that. But in all these three situations by major prophets of the Bible, they were rewarded, not even chased out. Abimelech gave Isaac plenty of land in the city. Anyways, guys, this is William from YouTube. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I guess pimping is biblical, as that pimp said. That it's gone back to thousands of years dealing with this oldest profession of pimping and the hoe.